I chose my artist as Kara Walker because when I first searched her name in Google, the first thing that came up was her cut paper artwork, which was in black and white. I love the art forms that are in black and white because they are so clean and crisp, and also I don't like coloring any artworks because I can't color ever. I also liked her silhouettes of people or shadows and how they were not so ordinary. Kara Walker was born in Stockton, California in the year of 1969. By the time when she was 3 years old, she already knew what she wanted to do, which was to become an artist just like her father, Larry Walker. When her father took a job at the Georgia State University, Kara moved with her family to Atlanta. Rather than going for beauty and perfection in her arts, Kara experimented with various styles that told stories or made statements. She had various art styles that range from drawing, painting, light projection, written text, cut paper silhouette, installation, video, and performances. She is very famous for having controversial themes depicting power, repression, history, race, and sexuality. Her art was considered to be black stereotypes by the group of older African American artists, and they even tried to boycott her work. Her most famous works are the cut paper silhouette installations. One of the most famous cut paper silhouette is titled Cut. I really like this work because it's so simple with the black and white, yet it's detailed enough to see what is exactly going on in the artwork. And I like the fact that she uses silhouettes instead of colored paintings or drawings. It seems to me, at least, that black and white stands out more and carries a stronger message. This is a picture of Kara working. Her cut paper silhouettes are first drawn with a greasy pencil or soft pastel crayon on a large black paper, and pieces are cut out with an X-Acto knife. Her cut paper art is an installation art, which is an art that takes up a room for a certain period of time. Another one of her famous cut paper art is called Gone, an historical romance of a civil war as it occurred between the dusky thighs of one young negress and her heart. She was debuted with this art as soon as she graduated from Rhode Island School of Design, and this artwork helped Walker's career as well as making her one of the leading artistic voices on the subject of race and racism. You can see the actual size of her work in this photo of how it compares to the size of the real people. She also does projections with her artworks, placing the color transparencies in the projectors and project from the ground onto her black and white cutout silhouettes. She purposely uh, put the projectors on the ground so when people walked around in the museums, uh, people would cast their shadows because they would stand in front of the light and they would literally enter the narrative of her artwork. Her drawings are constantly used. They are usually small in scale but very powerful in messages. They are also used for sketch of her ideas, such as this drawing right here, which is a sketch of her Sphinx sculpture. Kara Walker is also famous for her sculptures. Her most famous sculpture is the Sphinx. Its actual title is A Subtlety of or the Marvelous Sugar Baby. This sculpture is made out of cut up and clean blocks of polystyrene foam. and the skin is coated with 4 tons of sugar. Its height is supposed to be 35 feet tall. The Sphinx breasts are revealed as well as her fisted hands are thrust out, and it shows the submissive and domineering sides. Her other famous sculpture is the Sugar Baby, and like its name, the sculptures are created entirely out of sugar. Some are clear and some are not, and they are also in different colors such as green or some kind of brown. The use of her sugar conveys the message about Caribbean slave trade. The people who actually visited her artwork slash sculptures quoted, "Even after several minutes in the Domino sugar factory, the presence of so much sugar actually starts to make you feel lightheaded and sick to the stomach." It might seem or smell sweet at first, but they are not so pleasant when viewed up so close. The parts of the sculpture are usually melted, and some fallen parts are tossed into another sculpture's basket. Kara Walker was influenced by many artists, such as Andy Warhol and Robert Colescott. She was influenced by Andy Warhol's omnivorous eye and moral distance, and Robert Colescott's use of the cartoonish Dixie sharecroppers in Vincent van Gogh's Dutch peasant cottages. Kara was not only influenced by other artists of her past, but she was also an influence for the other artists after her. Kara Walker's most immediate predecessor is Tino Sehgal, and Tino Sehgal became an art star by getting people to kiss and calling it art, or by turning the Guggenheim Museum into a giant audience polling site. He does not allow documentation of his projects, so I didn't have any of his artwork. I only have his photo right there. Kara Walker was Time magazine's one of 100 most influential people in the world in the year of 2007. She was also chosen to represent the United States in Sao Paulo Biennial in 2002, which is an international exhibition. She was the 8th American artist who was chosen to represent the US since the start of the Sao Paulo Biennial. Kara's artworks are actually more liked by the white race than the African Americans. At the age of 27, she was the youngest recipient of John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, the Genius Grant, which was very controversial. Her quotes are, "One of my earliest memories involves sitting on my dad's lap in his studio in the garage of our house and watching him draw. I remember thinking, I want to do that too, and I pretty much decided then and there at age 2.5 or 3 that I was an artist just like Dad." Another is, "Simple details of a human form in black cutouts seem cartoonish and resonate with racial stereotypes that are also reductions of actual human beings. You can play out different roles when you're rendered black or halfway invisible." Okay, that is the end of the presentation. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned more about Kara Walker. Thank you.